shaking. Hear the sound of my heart breaking. Bless the soul that's aching, hoping I survive. The feeling lingers on every day of every month, wishing I just could forget about you. The weight upon my bones makes it harder to move on. Oh baby, don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Can't forgive myself for losing you. Not that we were cruel enough to do it. Now I feel so stupid. Don't you feel that too? The feeling lingers on every day of every month, wishing I just could forget about you. The weight upon my bones makes it harder to move on. Oh baby, don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Can't forgive myself for losing you. For losing you. For losing you. Can you see me shaking? Hear the sound of my heart breaking.
You need strength. You need strength to do absolutely everything that you do. You need to be strong. Think of strength as endurance. And you want to run a good race, whether it's literally or just the race of life. You want to stay strong, you want to stay flexible, you want to stay mobile. And that's what you're going to get by doing this practice. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. You're doing it your way in the comfort of your own home. It's a no judgment zone. This is a 1 hour long practice. We practice every single day for 1 hour doing different types of practices. Today we call Yoga Plus, and the plus is yoga plus barre, plus Pilates, plus weights, and plus a chair even. So we work it all in. We work it all in to make you stronger. And you know what? Every day is different. The bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Every day is different, every body is different, and every one of our practices is different too. But you can do them. You can do all of them. You can do all of the poses because you modify them. The one thing that's the same in our practice, while everything is different, the one thing that's the same is don't hurt yourself. If something hurts, back out of it. If it's not comfortable, take it to a lesser percentage. Nothing wrong with doing something to 5% or 10%, but just try a little bit. Don't hurt yourself. Think of the word of today, which is try. Try. There you go. Try means to attempt, to give it a go, to test it out, to see if it works for you, to endeavor. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Let's endeavor to make the practice work for us. Remember, modify, modify, modify. Today I'm going to show you a lot of the poses in the chair so you can modify the poses to let the yoga meet you where your body is. Don't think of trying to do the poses just to bend because you think you got to bend a certain way. You make this yoga work for you. You're gonna need some props today. A lot of props for our Friday practice. I've got our usual 2 yoga blocks. Maybe you get a third one that's a little bit smaller too, so you can work toward progress there. Gonna use a yoga strap. If you have one of those, grab that. I'm not going to use it today, but you may use it, and we'll talk about that too. Eye shade, hand towel for your final Shavasana. The hand towel can be nice to put under your knees too, if that feels better for you in some of our poses. 2 hand weights are a great thing to have. If you don't have them, grab 2 water bottles. That's totally fine. And grab a water bottle to drink from too. All right, this is a slow-mo ball, a bender ball. It's a squishy little ball. It's a very thin membrane. We use it to create an unstable surface. If you don't have that, it's okay. You can still do the practice because you modify. But you might want to get one of these. And lastly, so many things on the list today. A chair. You might want to have a chair and be near a wall. All right, so those are the things you need. Let's come on up to standing if you want to. You can come to seated in your chair. As you come on up, or have a seat in your chair, lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you at? Where's your stress today? Give it a number and remember it. We're going to come back to it at the end. All right, grab the ball if you have it. If you're seated in a chair, maybe place your 2 blocks underneath your feet and take your ball and place the ball between your thighs. So in your seat, elevate your feet. Squeeze the ball between your thighs. If you don't have any of those, totally fine. Don't sweat it. I'm going to take this pose standing. Squeeze the ball. That's what you want to do, either in the chair or standing. You're going to squeeze that ball. Oh my goodness. Squeeze it good and tight. We're going to take our confidence pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows back. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. The ticket here is to take the breath in through the nose and sigh it loud. Let it go out your mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shoulders are down away from your ears. Elbows are squeezed toward the back of the wall. Big inhale. Big exhale. All right, when you're ready, let's take a big inhale by lifting the arms up to an extended mountain pose. No different if you're in the chair, totally fine. Squeeze your pinkies, spiral them in toward the midline of your body, and lengthen up. Breathe in. As you exhale, let your arms float down. Think earth as you exhale and your fingers are down. Think sky as you lift your arms up to the sky. It's all yours. Use it. Inhale, lengthen, sky. Exhale, arms float down to the earth, which keeps you nice and stable. Inhale, lengthen up to the sky. Breathe, stretch, let it feel good. Exhale, arms float down. Send your shoulders back and down, arms down by your sides. Take a deep breath in. Just fill up, maybe close your eyes. That might feel good. Sigh it out, let it go. Inhale, arms reach up, extended mountain. This time, interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky. And here's a modification. Bend your elbows a little bit if it doesn't feel so great in the shoulders. Lengthen up here as much as feels good, and then start to sway gently from side to side. All right, this is a soft lateral flexion of your spine, moving sideways this way and that, allowing the stretch between the intercostal muscles in your ribs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Hello to Betty, Diane, Tyrone, Stan, Lynn, Marietta, Callie, Tina, Rena, Tim, Scott, Steve, Diane, Denise, Nancy. I'm glad you guys are here. Breathe. All right, how's it feeling? Let it feel great. And if you're in that chair, maybe you let one arm float down and hold on to the chair if you want to feel more stable. It's all good. It all works. What the feeling you're going for here is the stretch in the side body, getting the spine moving in all its planes of motion. Here we go sideways. Let's come back up to center and let's fold forward. In this forward fold, let the spine bend this way. Let your fingers reach toward the earth, or if you're in the chair, think of your chest going towards your thighs. Inhale, arms sweep up, back up to the sky. Exhale, take a little baby back bend. You're nice and stable in the low body because you're squeezing that ball. Reach the fingers high to the sky and reach a little bit to the back. You don't have to go very far. Take it to what feels right for you. And everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a different bend here, a different degree of comfort. And then come back to center. Let your hands float down to prayer center. All right, so think about what you just did for a moment. You bent the spine sideways. You did it forward and back. So you get that spine moving in all its possible planes of motion. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. This pose is called your Samastitihi pose. With your eyes closed, think of something positive about you. Fill in the blank. I am, fill in the blank. I am strong. I am capable. I am able. I am getting better. Think of something positive. Tell yourself that. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Remember, strength is not about what you can do. Strength is about how you do the things that you didn't think you could do. That's strength. All right, big arm circles. Tee out your arms. Go ahead and create circles here. Arms can be teed out. If that doesn't feel good, put a gentle little bend in your elbows. And maybe palms are towards the side of the room, like you're washing the windows. And take your circles in both directions. I'm going to have my palms down, and I'm going to circle my arms forward and circle them back. If you're standing, add in the knees. When the arms come up, knees straighten. When the arms go down, the knees bend. So we're just getting into the shoulders here, taking advantage of the time by adding in the knees. Breathe. Arm circles. Remember, you're doing them in both directions. No rush, no hurry. Do what feels good. All right, come on back up to standing. Let your shoulders be back and down. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Let's do our big coat swing. All right, so you're going to twist to the left, twist to the right, and let the arms be heavy. If you're seated in a chair, you might like to grab the seat of that chair and just encourage the twist a little bit more. The big thing here for those of us that are standing is allow gravity to keep your shoulders down. Twist your neck. Move your neck. Look over your shoulder, one direction, then the other. That neck mobility is so important. We work on that all the time in our yoga. You want to look over your shoulder as best you can. If you're standing and you want to challenge your balance a little bit, you can close your eyes here and try to do the twist. You decide what feels comfortable for you. You just got to do. That's the thing. Hardest part is showing up and just trying, showing up and giving it just a little bit of an effort. If it's new to you, just give it a little effort. Not asking for a whole lot of effort. I posted an article, keep swinging. I posted an article in our private group on Facebook called Friends of 316 Yoga. And it's an article about doing less this year. And that's our word for the year. It's less. Doing less and being satisfied with less. All right, come back to standing. Come back to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. It's time for ragdoll pose. So you can do this in your chair too. All right, this is about releasing the low back and just feeling good there. Let's do the I Dream a Genie arms. Remember that? Bring your arms to opposite elbow creases. Lengthen up through your spine. Squeeze that ball. Don't forget about it. You're engaging your low body here. And then hinge forward. Hinge forward as best you can. Gentle bend in your knees might feel good. Let your gaze go back toward your knees or up towards your belly button as your arms hang heavy toward the earth and your head hangs heavy as well. If you're standing, the crown of your head is toward the floor. If you are seated in a chair, the crown of your head is striving for the front of your room. Breathe here. Take a deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. The exhales let you hollow out your belly. Little bend in the knees, and then start to gently sway from side to side. Bring one elbow toward one knee, then the other elbow toward the other knee. You're loosening up the low back. Let this feel awesomely wonderful. If you sit a lot throughout the course of your day, periodically stand up, if you can, and do your ragdoll pose. Let's finish here. Bring your arms back to the midline of your body. Eyes can be opened or closed. Tuck your chin a little bit more towards your chest to really get the crown of the head facing down. And then go ahead and lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Release your fingers to the mat, remove the ball from your hands, and come on down to your knees if you're coming down to your mat. If you're in the chair, you can do your child's pose in the chair. You would draw the legs together, perhaps feet on the block, and then let your chest come toward your thighs. If you're down on your mat, a couple variations here. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels. Head can come down to your block or to the mat. Arms down by your sides, shoulders away from the ears, palms face up. You feel like a nice, tight, concise little ball here. So this is your classic child's pose. The variation that I mentioned could be, you know this one. We do this often. Spread your knees wide, big toes touch, hips back to your heels. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Block under the head or not. All right, whichever pose you're in the chair or on the mat, let's settle in here. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. All right, be in your present moment. Feel the temperature of your mat. Just enjoy life right here. Settle in and let everything go. Breathe in. Now close your lips and breathe out through the nose. Try to breathe in and out through the nose if that is good for you. If it doesn't work, breathe, use your mouth to breathe out. Occasionally, you'll probably want to sigh it out through today's practice. If something's stressful, sigh it out, let it go. But then try to come back to a closed mouth breathing. Ujjayi pranayama breath is what we call it. Breathing in and out of the nose. So you're lengthening in the spine. You're getting a nice stretch in the knees and in the ankles. Arms are reaching long in the extended child's pose, getting a nice stretch in the armpits. But the key here is you want to lengthen the spine primarily. So if you're seated, you're still lengthening your spine. You're folding forward. With those big exhales, you hollow out your belly, and maybe you can bring your chest closer to your thighs or to the mat. When you're ready, let's come out of this child's pose knowing and accepting that child's pose is available to you anytime you want in the practice. If you don't like a pose and you don't want to do the pose, go back to your child's pose. Totally, totally fine. Let's do cat-cow. All right, come to a neutral tabletop on your mat. If you're seated, sit up nice and straight so your shoulders are over your hips. If you're on the mat, press the tops of your feet into your mat. That's an important part of this. It engages your core a little bit more. Press into your hands, fingers spread wide. Tuck your chin to your chest and tuck your tailbone under. If you're in the chair, you're curving your spine. The objective here is to curve your spine into the letter C. Then as you exhale, take it in the opposite direction. Drive your tailbone to the back of the chair or to the ceiling, and then bring the crown of your head up to the sky. There's your cow pose. So if you just imagine viewing your spine, exhale cat, chin to chest, tailbone under. Your spine looks like the letter C here. When you take your big inhale, think of your belly going forward in the chair or down to the earth, and you feel like a cow with a saggy belly. Your C is now in the opposite direction, a backward C, if you will. Crown of the head lifts, tailbone lifts. So now do some more cat-cows, marrying it to your breath. Exhale cat, because it lets you tuck your belly button to your spine. Think of how your spine curves here. Think of your neck. What's going on here? Your neck is tucked, chin is tucked to the chin is tucked to the chest. Then you're going to move your neck in the opposite direction, lengthening through the neck. So getting some neck movement going here. Cat-cow. Press into your hands, fingers spread wide. If it doesn't feel good on your wrists, ball your hands into fists. Cat-cow, you can come back to it anytime. Another great movement for your spine. All right, so now we're going to do a warrior two pose, and we're all going to do it, but we're all going to do it in the chair. If you are on your mat, tuck your toes under, send your hips high, and take a brief downward facing dog. Heels slightly lifted, feet hip width distance apart, pedal them out. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Shake your neck and let it be. All right, we're going to walk our feet up to meet our hands, and then we're all going to make our way to the chair. All right, so here's the deal. Once you've walked your feet to your hands, roll on up one vertebra at a time. Think of your spine as little Lego blocks and stack them up. So come to your chair. Here's how you do warrior two in the chair. If you're comfortable with standing and want to do it, try it, but I just want to show you an option. All right, warrior two, the quintessential perfect yoga pose, nice for balancing. If you're in the chair, turn your body, let's say to the right. I'm not going to mirror you on this one. Turn your body to the right. Send your legs, your front leg, toward the back of the room. The front leg, or the other leg, this is the front, this is the back. All right, send your left leg to the back. Send it nice and straight as best you can. Your bottom is still on this chair. Right knee over right ankle. That's an important part for stability. So if you're used to doing this standing, you can see the similarity in this pose. The only difference in standing is your back heel would be down at a 45 or 90 degree angle. If you're in the chair, you're kind of on the ball of your foot. So there's a difference in the foot positioning, but that's it. All right, so we're going to tee out our arms. You're going to look forward, look straight ahead, so your shoulders are equidistant to your TV. Lengthen up, and then soften up. What we're going to do now is turn our neck, got to turn the neck to the right. Overlook your right middle finger. Reach, reach, reach that arm super duper long toward the front of your room. You're in the chair, so you got that balance. So it's a great pose to take in the chair because it's really still very, very challenging. Tick-tock your arms, 6 and 12, bottom arm 6, top arm 12. Press the inner right thigh open, keeping the knee over the ankle. Arms are nice and straight and long. You've got the stability of the chair. You're golden. Hang out here for a bit. Reach your fingers long and strong. Right arm to the bottom, left arm up to the sky. Intensify it even more. You can. Top arm, reach it to the front of the room. Reach it, stretch it, lengthen. Feel the stretch in those intercostal muscles between your ribs. Stretch, reach. You got it. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back toward the back of the room. Inhale, come on up. Come back to that T shape in the arms. Take a reverse warrior. Left arm down your back leg, right arm up to the sky. Reach, stretch. Now stretch it even more toward the back of your room. So you're bringing that arm overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come back to the midline. Tee out your arms. Bring them back to prayer center and bring your legs to prayer center too. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. Other side. Gotta do both sides. Turn in the other direction. Knee over ankle. Other leg goes long. Find that sweet spot. Where does it feel good? You've got the stability of this chair. Trust it. Arms tee out. Gaze is forward. Right shoulder back because you want both shoulders shining equally to the front of the room. Shoulders are back and down away from your ears. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And then exhale, reach, 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 far, far, far with that left arm. Reach. And when you're ready, tick-tock, 6 and 12. Bottom arm down, top arm up, look up. Use your neck. Look up towards your right fingers. Breathe, pressing the inner left thigh open. Hold on here, strong and stable. And then when you're ready, reverse warrior, right arm down, left arm up. Look up, reach back. Breathe. All right, this is always available to you. Taking it in a chair. Don't overlook the value of a chair. Chairs can make the practice super duper hard. If balance is an issue in your warrior two or any other poses, have a chair nearby. It's great. All right, let's use the chair in another way. Come back. Arms tee out, come back to the midline, come back to prayer center, lengthen up through the spine, maybe close your eyes, soften in the shoulders. Your mantra, what was it? I am, fill in the blank. How about I am strong? Deep breath in, deep breath out, let it go. All right, let's go. Another chair pose. I'm gonna fold my mat in half just so I can use this chair more easily. All right, we're gonna use the chair to do our fire hydrant and donkey kick. So come on up to standing. Trust the back of your chair. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this chair up against the wall so it doesn't slide out from under me, because this is a chair that is cheap. It's, you know, a Costco chair, but it's a good Costco chair. Costco's good. But I'm gonna press it up against the wall to make it a little more stable. We're gonna do our fire hydrant pose. Remember that one? So find your block, or find your ball. Place your hands on the back of the chair. Let's just stretch it out here. Stretch it out, having your back nice and flat, like a neutral tabletop. Maybe move your feet a little further back. Stretch it out, find length in your spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Take the ball. We're gonna take the ball and we're gonna place it behind our right knee. Adjust your stance so you're comfortable, the distance between your arms in this chair. Maybe you like to have your hands on the chair, or maybe for more stability, you might want to put your forearms on the chair. It's up to you. All right, sometimes we do this pose down on all fours. We did that last week. Today we're doing it different. All right, so the ball is squeezed behind the right knee. Lift the right knee up to about hip height. Let's start with donkey kick. Start to pulse the ball in. There's a bar move for you, hence the arms on the back of the chair. It's like going to a bar class, right? All right, so kick your heel gently in towards your bottom. All right, eyes can be closed, forehead can be resting on your arms, whatever feels good. The focus here, you know where the focus is. It's on your low body, on your hips, on your glutes. My standing leg, my left leg is now on fire. Those glutes are on fire, kicking the foot toward the bottom. All right, let's take it another way. Let's keep the legs stable. Knee to about hip height. I always got to bring it up higher. Maybe you do too. And pulse it up to the sky. So we were kicking in for a little bit. Now let's pulse the foot up to the sky. Breathe. Oh my goodness. Your right hip, dial it down a little bit more so your hips are equal distant to the earth. Breathe. Oh, how's it feeling? Bar practice. Its signature is little teeny pulses at the bar. All right, are you ready to end this? Oh yeah. Let's bring the right knee to hover next to the left, and let's take it right on into a fire hydrant pose. Lift the knee to the side of the room. So here's what's called fire hydrant. Think of a dog on a fire hydrant. My friend Dawn, you renamed this a little something, a little less silly. You renamed it Dalmatian pose. All right, so maybe you're a big dog like a Dalmatian, lifting the knee up, nice and high. Maybe you're a little dog like a dachshund and just lifting a little bit, but feel the burn. Oh, I'm not joking. My left glutes are on fire. Lift it a little bit, lift it not so much. Lift it higher. Lift your ankle higher than the knee. Lift and lower. Lift the leg up and pulse it up. Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish. Knee to meet knee. Remove the ball. Plant the right foot next to the left. Step back a little further and stretch this out. Oh my goodness. Wiggle your toes while you're here too. All right, how are you doing? That's intense, but guess what? Do it on one side, we got an opportunity to do it again. Take the ball behind the left knee this time. Step back to what is good for you. Maybe it's the hands on the chair and your back is nice and flat and you lift the back leg, or maybe you put the forearms on the chair and lift the back leg again. So just get comfortable in your torso. I'm gonna lift my back leg, my left leg, knee to about hip height. Too low, bring it up higher. Chances are it's gonna be too low. Try to bring it higher. If that doesn't work, take it to whatever does work. Now I'm going to start with kicking toward my bottom, softening in the shoulders, resting in my upper body. The only thing that's really doing a whole lot here, my left leg, knee to about hip height. Too low, bring it up higher. Chances are it's going to be too low. Try to bring it higher. If that doesn't work, take it to whatever does work. Now I'm going to start with kicking toward my bottom, softening in the shoulders, resting in my upper body. The only thing that's really doing a whole lot here is that low body. It's going to get on fire real soon. Embrace that burn. Just, it's not too bad. Just give it a try. So little pulses. How are you doing? Dial your left hip down. Feel the adjustment in the right set of glutes. Let's squeeze the heel in toward the bottom and pulse that foot up to the air. Little teeny pulses. You got it going on. And your standing knee, don't lock it out. Let it be fluid. All right, how are you doing in your donkey kick? Let's slow it down. Let's bring the left knee to meet the right, and then let's take it to fire hydrant. Lift the knee to the side of the room. Remember, little dogs, big dogs, they're all good. Try to bring the ankle maybe a little higher than the knee. Find that hip mobility. You got it going on. Oh my goodness. All right, guess where we're gonna go next? We're going to go into a plank pose. And everybody can do it because we've got different variations of plank and you're gonna do it. Yes, you are. Maybe the first plank you've ever done in your life, but it's all good. All right, how's that dog doing? Let's finish. Knee meets knee, foot meets foot. Step it back, remove the ball, stretch it out. Oh my goodness. Wiggle your toes if you like. Breathe. All right, your glutes are on fire. Come back to standing. Take the extended mountain pose or go back to your seat if you wish. You can have a seat or you can sweep your arms up in a standing position and lengthen up here. Just stretch it out. Breathe in. As you exhale, hands to prayer center, mantra time. You got it. Okay, I said we're gonna do plank. Every day in our practices, except for the restorative yoga days, we do a plank. We set a timer for 1 minute, it comes up on the screen. Lots of ways to do plank. Let's talk about it. If you're very new to planking, here's one of the first things you can do. You can come against your wall, stand against the wall, put your hands on the wall and step it back. Step it back until you feel strength in your arms. Feet hip width distance, hands shoulder width distance. Flatten your back like a plank and press into the wall. Maybe adjust your feet, send them back a little bit more. Trust the wall. Press, shoulders over wrists. So imagine that the wall is the earth when you do a plank on the mat, which I'm going to do shortly. So that is a fine plank. Stay on your wall plank if you like. Another way you could do it is with your chair. You could push into the back of your chair and step your feet back. Push into the chair, step it back, find strength in your arms, and just imagine being in a plank here. That's another fine variation. Totally good. I'm going to come down right now back to my mat, and we'll talk about variations there. Maybe those of you like Betty, you're probably in a high plank already, taking it to mountain climbers, which I'm gonna do too. But let's talk about this for a second. From a neutral tabletop, you could send your legs back, arms more forward, adjust your knees, hinge the weight more forward, and feel the weight in your arms. Totally fine to take it on your knees. If it hurts the knees, put a towel underneath your mat, or underneath your knees, or fold your mat in half. Another variation, drop down to your forearms, having your elbow over your shoulder or under your shoulder for stability. Walk the knees on back, press the forearms into the mat, stay right here. Another variation, there are a million ways to do it. Tuck your toes under, send your hips high, and hold here in your dolphin plank, fingers spread wide. I'm gonna have some fun with a high plank today. I'm gonna take it to mountain climbers, cross bodies. You can do this on the wall too. You could do your mountain climbers on the wall. Let's go, let's start. Best way to do it is to begin. Send your hip feet back, start a timer please. Thank you, Dwayne, 1 minute. In a high plank, your shoulders are over your wrists. Your feet are long, your legs are long. Your feet are hip width distance apart. Back is flat as best it can be. Lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, release, let it go. Hold on, let the air go, let the breath go. You've got it. For your mountain climbers, right knee bends toward your right knee bends toward the right elbow, left knee bends toward the left elbow. Mountain climbers. Send your legs long. If you don't like the mountain climbers, here's another thing you could do. Cross body. Right arm, left wrist, left knee, right wrist. Back and forth, crossing the midline of your body. Timer is still going. We're 22 seconds to go. Lift your arms high. Send your bottom high to the sky. Take your down dog. Hinge forward, hold here. We got 15 seconds to go. Let's do some plank jacks. Jump out with the feet. Come back with the feet. Plank jacks. If you like, you can do 1 foot at a time. It's all good. 4, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, done. Come on down to your mat or come back to seated in your chair and grab a drink. All right, a million ways to do plank, a million ways to do your practice. Just do it. Just try. All right, now, if you would like to be on your mat, we can take this ball, have a seat on your bottom, place the ball between your ankles. If you're in the chair, same thing. Have a seat in your chair, put the 2 blocks underneath your feet, place the ball between your ankles, If you don't have any of those things, totally fine. I'm gonna come all the way back, down to my back, slowly recline. So if I were in the chair, I'd have my seat in the chair, my knees bent, seat of the chair is under my thighs. So just think of, I've rotated 45 degrees. Arms down by your sides. Squeeze the ball between your ankles. Draw your toes towards your shins. Now point your toes and let your feet come down. Let the toes touch and bring the ball back up. Parallel shins to the sky. Toes are moving toward the shin. If you're seated in the chair, you're lowering both thighs, touching both toes to that block or to the ground. Lifting on back up good and slowly. And I'm going to bend the feet, drawing the toes toward the shins. So lift and lower, lower and lift. When you're down and your toes touch, you really feel the sensation of your tailbone plugged into the mat. So lift and lower. Oh, Pilates. Gotta love Joseph Pilates. And you know, he didn't name his practice Pilates. He was an all right guy. He wasn't arrogant. He named his practice Controlology, and it was all about control. Oh, do you have control of your abs lifting this or what? Arms down by your sides, shoulders away from the ears, feet come down, toes touch, come on back up to the starting position. Don't skimp on it, knees over hips, breathe. You got it. All right, let's finish this torture, right? Whew. Come on down, feet come down, let's press on up to a seated position. And here's the deal. Press on up, use your hands if you want, or no hands at all. Try, just try. We're gonna take this ball and we're going to place it behind our low back. If you're in the chair, it won't work because it'll just fall out the back. But sit up nice and straight in the chair. Let's place this ball at our low back. If you're in the chair, very similar pose. I'm gonna lean on back into this ball. I'm gonna find the sweet spot where I feel a little bit of support, but not so much that I'm placing all my weight into this block. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my arms parallel to each other and I'm gonna do little teeny lifts toward the front of the room. Just reach a little bit, bringing your back away from the chair if you're in it, and then back. Lift and lower. Feet are on the mat. An option here, if you're on your mat, is you could bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Nothing wrong with keeping the soles of the feet on the mat. Same thing in the chair. Feet can be on your blocks or open up your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. All right, I'm gonna take my right arms, surround my right knee and lift and lower. Nice. Take it back to center, just a few little breaths here, back to center. Take it to the left, back and forth. You got it. Back to center, even out. Let's pretend we're an archer. Right arm reaches to the right corner of your room. Left arm has your palms touch, then bend the left arm, bring the left arm back, working the elbow back to either your back wall in the chair or toward the earth. Back up to touch, slip it on back again. Back up to touch, slip it on back again. Back up to touch, back to middle and pulse. Take the arms, reach them to the left. Right elbow comes back, maybe it touches the earth, or not, then back to touch. Bring it on back, and then back together to palms touch. One more time. This is not easy. No cakewalk here. Elbow touches down, back to palms touch, back to prayer center, not prayer center, back to reaching long, and then come up to seated. Nice job, everybody. Isn't easy in the chair, is it? Whew. You can do this. All right, we're gonna do bicycle. Multiple ways here. And we're gonna do a Pilates bicycle too. Lots of fun. But a little caveat here. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, not a good idea to rock and roll on your spine. Check with your doctor and follow their advice, okay? In the chair, on your back. Totally fine, totally doable. Let's come on back to seated comfortably or all the way back down to your back. Lift your legs up. Now we're gonna do a recumbent bike first of all. You can lift the legs up and drive them to the front of your room, extending one leg, then the other. Breathe. So if you look at me, you can imagine if this were the chair. My shoulders would be in the chair, my bottom and my thighs are on the chair. I'm reaching my legs forward, just a little bit or a lot, alternating. Then you can bring your feet back to the block and then lift one knee towards your chest, then the other. If you're reclined, here's what else you can do. Bring your fingers to your temples. Send your elbows wide. Ride this bicycle here. Alternate. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Totally good. Another variation. Keep your feet down if you want. And just take a little twist. Imagining an elbow coming toward the opposite knee. It's all good. Shoulders come down. Legs go long. Take your stick pose. Stretch it out with everything you got. Palms touch, toes reach. Oh, stick pose. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Let's do a Pilates bicycle. All right, for your Pilates bicycle, if you're on the chair, resume doing your recumbent bike. If you are reclined, here's what you can do. You can send your legs high up to the sky and put your hands at your bottom behind your hips. So hands are at your hips. A way to get here would be to rock and roll up if you like. All right, legs go high, maybe one, then the other. Then start to bend your knees as if you're riding a bike up in the air. Riding a bike upside down. Breathe. Pilates bicycle pose. Breathe, breathe. Keep your neck nice and long and stable. Send both legs up to the sky. This is a shoulder stance. Keep your neck still, don't turn your head. When you're ready, if you like, take it to a plow pose, another Pilates pose. All right, wiggle your ankles, wiggle your feet. Bring your heavy toes overhead. Bring them overhead. Whew. Maybe bring them more overhead. Maybe work your hips a little higher. Maybe work your feet down toward the earth. And then finish. Roll on up on your spine. Come on up to seated. How did you do? Nice job. All right, let's take another Pilates pose called Pilates 100s. Variations to this. Let's do it. I'm not going to count. Joseph Pilates did 100, but we're not going to count because we're going to modify and we're going to do it to what is right for us. If you're in the chair, legs go long, arms go overhead, come on down to recline. Stretch it out in your stick pose. Lie on your mat, stretch it out, stick pose. You look like a big number 1. The big letter I, let it be. Float your arms down by your sides. Now we have mobility in our shoulders. Send your arms down by your sides, palms face down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, you can keep your heels down. If you want to kick it up a notch, you can find your ball and place it underneath your ankles, kind of creating that unstable surface. Lift your arms on up, a couple inches from the ground. Maybe you add in the shoulders and lift them, or not, take some combination of this. But the arms are long, fingers down by the bottom of your mat, and then you're gonna pulse your hands. Pulse your hands. This is where he counts the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're not gonna count, because you're just gonna do what's right for you. Maybe you've got your heels slightly lifted. Maybe you've got them lifted on the ball or off of the ball. Maybe you take the ball and squeeze it between your ankles. Oh, try it out, see what you think. Breathe. Core is strong. You're hollowed out like a little boat. Breathe, breathe. You look like a bracket or a parentheses, right? Breathe, breathe. Don't quit. Try. If you need to take a break, come down for just a breath or two and get back in the game. You can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because you're modifying. Maybe you lift the legs a little higher. Maybe you lift the shoulders a little higher. It's all good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And let's finish. Come on down. Stick pose, stretch it out. Whew. Breathe in, breathe out. How are you doing? All right, we're gonna do some balancing now. Let's come on up to a standing position. So come on up, use your hands or don't. You decide. You decide. That's the big factor. You decide. I'm gonna take another drink. All right, so balancing. You can use the chair or not. Chair is great for balance. You decide how you want to do this. So you can have this chair for balance by your side. The back of the chair perhaps, or maybe you wish to stay seated in the chair. But let's try to balance a little bit. Balance is so important. So I'm going to do tree pose to begin with. The chair is here. Bend the knee that's away from the chair. Open up that knee to the side of the room. Bring the sole of the foot up, 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 a little bit or a lot or not at all. Balance on the toes. Just don't put your foot onto the inside of your foundational knee. You don't bend your knee that way. Ooh, don't do that. All right, hips are equidistant to the mat or to your front wall. Held onto the chair and lift one arm up. You can lift both arms up if you're feeling comfortable and stable. You could keep your hands at prayer center if you prefer. Lots of ways. Maybe you keep your hands on your hips. I'm going to grow my branches and sway them. I'm going to bring my hands back to prayer center. Going to guide the knee to the front of the room, and I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to lift my knee to hip height. Prayer center hands, or hold on to the chair, or, so many ors. Lift one arm or lift both arms. There you go. There's your one-legged mountain. Now, a variation here, or another level here, is to step forward with the right foot. I'm going to place the right foot down. I'm going to hold on to the chair and reach forward and send my left leg back. Up, nice and straight. Recognize this. This is your warrior 3 pose. We did warrior 2 today. We're doing warrior 3. A nice flat back, and use the chair today just so you can feel how it feels to really get down here. Lift your left leg higher, dial your left hip down. Nice job. Right foot meets left. Let's do it on the other side. So we're gonna do tree on the other side. Root into your right foot, lift the opposite leg, open it up. Open it up, place the foot wherever you like, hold the chair. Foot can go anywhere, as long as it isn't on the knee. And when you're ready, grow a branch, grow both branches, put those branches on your hips. It's all good, but it really helps to focus forward where the ceiling and the wall meet. Do the pose, it feels good for you. Embrace the swaying of the tree. Trees are strong, right? They're firmly rooted, but they gotta sway to survive, right? All right. Bring your hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room, knee at about hip height. Love this chair. Arms can lift, or both arms can lift. There's your one-legged mountain. Draw your toes toward your shin. Find length in your hips. You got it. Now, let's do the same thing in warrior 3 here. Plant your hands, left foot steps forward, and use the chair today. Right foot goes back, and then right foot goes up to the sky. Have a little bit of a bend in your foundational knee. Stretch, your arms are supported here. Right leg lifts, dial your right hip down. Find your warrior 3. You look like the shape of a letter T. Breathe. Right foot meets left. Scoot the chair away or grab a seat and grab your blocks. All right, let's do some weights. Totally do this in your chair if you want, or stand. You got your 2 weights in your hands, little weights or water bottles, it's all good. Take the weights. Oh, you know what? Let's kick it up a notch. Of course, kick it up a notch. Take your ball, place it between your thighs. Give it a good squeeze. Helps you feel more stable. Bring your weights to your shoulders and then lift. Palms are in, so you can pat your cheeks. Palms are in, and you're lifting the weights up nice and high. They could be heavy weights, they could be lighter weights, it's your call. Squeeze the ball, hold on here, lift and lower. You could always lift one weight, then the other, you decide. Come the weights up to extended mountain. Come the weights. Bring the weights to extended mountain. Tee out your arms. Hold them here and little teeny pulses up, up, up. Put a gentle bend in your knees, so you got some little bounce there in your knees as well. And then when you're ready, start to bend the elbows. Keep them open to the sides of the room, but bring the weights to your shoulders and then tee them out. Weights to shoulders, tee them out. Think of your upper back. Building good muscles in the upper back to improve your posture. Hold on here. So many people have that. I'm going to show you that head tilted down posture. And rounded shoulders. Not healthy. Not good for your posture. Not good for your bones. Not good for your organs. Stretch it out. Shoulders over your hips. Nice and strong here. Your alternating arms, you're bringing them both in together. It's all good. Strength in the upper back. Strength means getting better, getting stronger, having endurance to run the race. A good race. All right, breathe. Flip your palms so they're down. Little teeny pulses down. Pulses down. You know, if you're in that chair, good on you. You can be squeezing that ball still. Have no mercy on that ball. If I were to come along, I could not pull that ball out between your thighs. You got a strong grip there. Hold on. Little pulses down. Ah. Gotta love arm poses, right? Okay, let's bring our arms down by our sides. Let's do a drinking bird. In your chair, come up onto the balls of your feet on that block. Send your shoulders back and down, slip on down, kind of a nice straight back as best you can. If you don't want to be on the balls of your feet, be flat on your feet. It's all good. I'm going to sink a little bit lower. I'm going to hinge forward a little bit, slightly, a little bit. All right, hinge forward, elbows hugged in, bring your weights toward your armpits and then bring them back down. Weights toward your armpits and back down. Find your balance here. Maybe send the weights all the way back to the back of the wall with straight arms and then pulse them in. Chest is open. Feel your chest facing forward. Your gaze is forward too. Chest is open. Breathe. Bring your weights down by your sides. If you want to take a bend in the knees, sink a little bit lower and hold it here. When you're ready, come on back up to a standing position. Squeeze that ball, arms tee out. Let's serve a tray here. So arms are extended. Pulse the weights up a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Now, if you're standing, add in the knees. You're serving the adults, cocktails. You're serving the teenagers, I don't know what, energy drinks, right? And then you come on down and you serve the little kids, juice boxes. Breathe. Is that even a thing anymore? All right, come on back up. Those teens want some more. Pulse, pulse, pulse the tray. And of course, straighten the legs, pulse the tray up for the adults with the cocktails. Let's do it again. Teens, bend in the knees. Little kids, bend the knees even more. And I tell you, honestly, the ball really helps here. Come on up to the teens. Come on up to the adults. Bring the weights overhead. Forget that tray. Lift the weights high up overhead. Bring the palms toward the midline of the body. Capture and interlace your fingers. Ditch a weight or two if you want to. Hug your elbows towards your ears. And then bend your elbows, bringing the weights behind your neck. Lift, lower, lower, lift. So what are you working here? What do you feel here? You feel the triceps, right? The area behind your arm. Your little triceps. How do they feel? Getting stronger every day, right? All right, lift them up, float them down, hinge forward. You got this. Remove the ball and let's come down to our mat or stay in your chair. Come to your knees. Shoulders over your hips can be the same way in the chair. We're going to take a gentle camel twist. Tuck your toes under. Twist to the right side. So your torso is twisting, but your feet are perhaps on the blocks in the chair. You're going to twist. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to reach for your right heel. You're going to lift your left arm up to the sky, and you're going to send your gaze up to the sky as well. Hold it here, reach the arm back. Arm goes back up, both arms go up to the sky like an extended mountain. Sweep your left arm back to find your left heel. Hinge back a little bit, reach, maybe reach back a little bit. Come back up to center, arms reach, hands to first center. You've got it. Let's come down to a reclined position. Now, you can stay seated in your chair. If you're seated in your chair, you're gonna cross your right leg over your left. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my eye shade and my towel, bring it up near my shoulders. Then I'm going to recline here, maybe hands to first center. I'm gonna bend my left knee and bring my right one up and cross it over. So if you're in the chair, you're just kind of sassy crossing your legs. Outside of the right ankle onto the left thigh. Push the inner right thigh open. Arms down by your sides comfortably. We're going to use them in just a second. Lift your left leg up. Now you can take your hands or your towel and you can reach underneath your left knee and hug it in. You can reach in front of your left knee and hug it in your figure 4 here. Or if you're seated on the chair, just try to lift your left leg up a little bit to intensify the stretch in those right glutes, like we did when we did donkey kick and fire hydrant. Left foot down, right foot down. Other side, left leg crosses. Push the inner left thigh open. Maybe that is enough. You can stay right here. Perhaps lift the right leg up, using your towel to make your arms longer, or not. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and hug it in behind your hamstrings. Or interlace your fingers underneath the knee. Whew, imagine that left knee going more forward. Feels great. Left foot down, right foot down, bridge pose. Grab the back of your chair and just arch your back so your chest goes forward. If you're reclined, push the weight into your feet, lift your hips up, tuck your shoulders underneath your spine, lift, breathe. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. If you're in the chair, come back to that child's-like pose by having your chest come to your thighs. If you're on your mat, hug your left knee, hug your right knee, peel your shoulders on up, maybe kiss your knees. Come back to a boat pose. Legs go long, arms go long overhead. Hollow out the boat, hold it here, and then recline. Come all the way down. Arms float down by your sides. Eye shade or towel covers your eyes. Arms down by your sides. Take a few moments here to just readjust. Final Shavasana pose. Toes fall to the edges of your mat. Arms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine, and breathe. Deepen your breath here. Big belly breath in, your belly pooches up to the sky. And a full breath out, let your belly button go back and touch your spine. Soften the area between the eyebrows and let your body be heavy. Now's the time to hit your pause button on your remote if you wish to stay here longer and rest in your final Shavasana pose. If you'd like to do that, just enjoy the pose longer, and then when you're ready to come back, just hit play again and meet us here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Appreciate your breath. What was your mantra? Tell yourself that again. And don't forget it, because tell yourself it off of the mat as well. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, then your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and stretch it out like a good morning stretch, like it's the first stretch in the morning before you even get out of bed. Stretch in the armpits, stretch in the hips, point in the toes. Bend the knees. Exhale, roll into a fetal position. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow. Close your eyes and breathe. Gently float on up to your seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. I'm going to crisscross my legs, hands to prayer center, lengthen up, and then soften up. Gently blink your eyes open. You took a stress number in the beginning. What was it? And now, what is it? You just feel a lot better in your body. Yoga is the union, the bringing together of your heart, your mind, and your soul. And everything just comes together. You always feel better. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. You always feel better when you exercise. That's the ticket. And the ticket is to try. Just try. Show up. Do what you can with what you got and get a little bit better one day at a time. See you on your mats tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Don't quit. Even if you just come for 10 minutes, give it a go. Love you guys. See you later. Bye. Hello, how are you? See ya. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.